Hello, everyone. I am your host, Shashi, with you all again on Women Dialogues. To create more voice for women and by women, we are reaching towards the winter break and people who celebrate Christmas for Christmas celebration. We all are having a time like to relax, to rest. And many of us, we use time for rest, relax. Many use this time to regenerate for the new year with new energy. And I think it's the right time where we are connecting with our today's speaker, Beatrice from Lagos, Nigeria. She is having with us a very inspiring and motivating story to inspire you and to motivate you on your relaxing and holiday time. So let's welcome our today's speaker, Beatrice. She is running a very inspiring and very motivating cause with her own organization, where she will be sharing with us what is all about. So welcome, Beatrice, on our Women Dialogue Global podcast platform.
Thank you so much. I'm very grateful to be on your platform. And I must recommend what you are doing to bring women from every part of the world to share their story and to encourage others, even in their various journey that they have found themselves in life. My name is Beatrice Omowi Yusufu. I'm from Nigeria. The founder of the highly esteemed Christian Widows and Widowers Empowered Initiative Nigeria, a community organization that sees to the affairs of widow community in Africa. And by the grace of God, the organization has been in existence for the past 4 years, and we reach out to not less than 10,000 widows every month through our various online training that move around our 5 major objectives to see to the affairs of widow community in Africa. Our objectives are to see to the total well-being of widows and widowers with their children. We try as much as possible to train on conscious parenting, mental well-being, emotional well-being, spiritual well-being, and economical well-being of widow community in Africa. I believe if all the 5 objectives that my organization is pursuing is well taken care of, every widows and widowers will be able to live their life better. Because I find myself in such, and as I decided to start living my life, even despite what I've passed through, taking care of my mental health, my spiritual well-being, my economic well-being, and other aspects of my life with conscious parenting, how I care for my children. I think
so. Beatrice, here I want to hold you when you are talking all about your organization and about your purpose, about your living, about your struggle. Let's just start talking about how this idea came from, why you focused on this cause. What is the story behind it? How it all started?
Thank you so much. I'm very grateful for that. Actually, I myself have been widowed for the past 11 years. I was very young at the age of 34 with children of age 6, 5, and 1 year old in my hand when my husband got his wings. It was not an easy situation for me. The traumatic and the state I was then, it was not really helping, because I was looking for people of my age that are bereaved or widowed at that point in time. I was lonely, I was devastated. The tragedy of losing the husband at a young age creeped me a lot down. And, here in Africa, when a man dies, most of the time it leads to isolation, because the blame has always been on the woman that, oh, she's the one that caused the death of her husband. She did not take care of the man very well. She was nagging her husband. She did this, she did that. there's always a lot of blame that is
Mm-hmm.
always a proportion to women in Africa
Mm-hmm.
when they lose their husband at the early stage of their life.
Mm-hmm.
Most
So,
of the time,
Beatrice, when you're talking about here that some this kind of demise happened and in somebody already in the sad position, especially the very close ones, wife and children or a family, uh, you mentioned it comes on a woman head, that this is the reason of cause, and it's something you are bringing very important point to make people understand. And like what is the reason, how we can change that, what way it's why it is a reason, what is there any reason behind it, why it's going on still.
well, I would say culture. The
Mm-hmm.
culture of the different countries, states differ from one another. Here in
Right.
Africa, the cultural factor contributes majorly to this blame on the women. And that is exactly what we are trying to educate the society about, that it is God that knows the date of death for each and every one of us. The life we are is a journey. When it is time for someone to drop, nobody can stop it. But
Mm.
here in Africa, people always still apportion blame to women, you know, and we are trying to see to the arts aspects of life that widows should be allowed to live their life, despite the fact that they become bereaved, does not mean their lives should also be shut down. We are speaking it out and we are encouraging other widows to come out boldly. Don't be afraid to say you're a widow. There's no stigmatization in widowhood. Widowhood is not contagious, because we have also seen women also not ready to also be a friend with widows, because some of them feel becoming a friend with a widow can also make them to be a widow. That is
Okay.
not true at all.
Mm-hmm.
We have seen
Mm-hmm.
areas where widows are being put aside, even in the family or in the society, because they are
Wow.
widow. That is
Mm-hmm.
why we have formed the group, we are coming together. You can see on my timeline, I organize program for widows every year, not once. I have about 6 programs that I bring widows together so that they can be friends with one another. It's because we pass through the same situation, even though our story may be different, but we are of like minds and we understand our language as we do. So that is why I come up with different programs almost every 2 months, if not for the coronavirus that did not allow us to gather very well this year. But by the grace of God, I think I've had 2 physical events this year, where we come
Okay.
together as
Mm-hmm.
widows and widowers, because we deserve to be happy as well. The
Right.
death of a husband does not mean that we also should die. We just have
Mm-hmm.
to live our life without
Mm-hmm.
being judged, without judgment, without anybody judging us. I've seen some people who say, she's a widow, see her face. She's even
Mm-hmm.
putting on makeup. She's
Mm-hmm.
wearing fine dress. She's not even mourning her husband very well. What's concerned anybody with that? Level of
Mm-hmm.
grieving is different. If you are
Mm-hmm.
able to heal on time, why not get healed and move on with your life? Must I grieve forever because my husband died? If I also die, who will take care of my children? So
Right.
I encourage every widows and widowers to live their life rightly, seek God face, and know how to deal with your
Right.
emotions and
Mm-hmm.
be empowered so that you can become self-sufficient, so that you
Right.
not end up depending on everywhere, every man you see or woman you see
So,
or the church or the family before you
right.
can feed your children,
So,
even
Beatrice,
though
here when you're talking about challenges for especially the women, even though they are having before and even though after of these, already for them, it is a lot of emotional and social and economically toll to manage their own, and even if they have children in their life, how they what kind of program or what kind of thing you added in your organization to deal with the isolation as well as for the mental health for these women, because I believe it's already a lot of things going on in their life to deal with, especially in many cultures. Still these kind of things are happening, and people try to put them in isolation. How you are encouraging to come out from that kind of scenario or situation? How you do that?
Okay. Myself, the situation I find myself as a widow,
Mm-hmm.
I don't like it, to be frank with you. Even me myself, I was living in denial for a very long time. Oh, Beatrice, how are you? How are your children? We have asked your husband. He traveled. Because I don't want people to even know that my husband is no more, especially friends that did not know my background. So
Mm-hmm.
I tried to hide it for a particular period of time. And
Mm-hmm.
even though if I did not tell you I'm a widow, you will not even know. But it's not
Mm-hmm.
everybody that have that grace. So until a
Right.
certain time comes in my life, that I have to speak out. Yes, as a
Right.
husband.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my husband, he has gone to rest in heaven. Oh, my
Mm-hmm.
husband is no more. Oh, so it took me a long time, almost 5 years, before I was able to come out boldly to
Oh.
say to
Mm-hmm.
anybody or stranger that I am a widow is
Mm-hmm.
welcome. That is a stage I will call denial. Many people, many widow or widower live in that stage for a particular period of time until they get, gradually overcoming or getting healing gradually in their journey before they can be able to boldly say that they are widows. So now, on that part, there are many widows that have find themselves in isolation
Yeah.
because of the way society look at them. But
Right.
it is not written on our forehead that this woman that is coming is a widow, or that man
Mm-hmm.
that is coming is a widower. It's not
Right.
written. So we have
Mm-hmm.
to come out of our fear. We have to
Mm-hmm.
be bold, and we have to face our life. Every challenges that confronted us, we must be able to stand in the way of God and confront our challenge so that we'll be able to move on in our life. How long will you continue to live in denial as a widow or as a widower? That part that you are unable to heal, you need to get rid of it with the help of God and being around other widows and widowers that have passed through the same situation with you, so that you can know that you are not alone in that journey. There are thousands of people around you that have also faced through that kind of challenge, and they are living their life in an acceptable manner. The
Right.
group on Facebook, we're up to about 7,000 members in the group, and our members that are not on social media, there are more than 10,000 registered from every part of Nigeria, where we have coordinators for each state.
So, Beatrice, I hear when you're talking about how they can come out, what kind of steps they should take. What way you mentioned you are connecting and you are helping women each year, monthly basis. How far you have gone by your organization to helping those women, and how you are seeing those impacts in their life?
Thank you. To come out of grieving, we need to be able to understand ourselves, our state of mind first, and the ability to make up our mind that we want to start living our life. Connecting with others in the same situation will help you to also smile. Some hardly smile after bereavement because they see no reason to smile or to be happy. There are many reasons that you need to be happy as a widow, as a widower. Our emotions, our state of mind. How do we exhale? How do we breathe out? How do we remove some uh, things, thoughts in our heart that weigh us down? Coming together, having friends among ourselves, among the widow group, will enable you. Reading the word of God, and also, reading other books or listening to story of other widows that have passed through some challenges in their early stage of their widowhood. That's why I
Mhm.
said we have a close group on Facebook where everybody pour their hearts down, because
Mhm.
at times some things is bothering your heart and you don't
Mhm.
know who to speak or who to discuss with. We see this widow, they'll come to the group, please, I'm passing through this. What can I do? Which step do you think I could take? Before you know it, within 1 hour, you see almost 500 comments. People are already giving the ideas on how
Right.
to go about that stage of life.
That's
So
very, supportive, and it seems like very supportive community you have created through social media and through all these platforms. And when we are talking about it, do you find, are you able to, did you made or are you able to make any change in general in common people perception about widow and widowhood? Are they able to mingle? Are they ready to accept what way you are seeing? Is there any change we are able to see that?
yes, there's a lot of changes now. Look at it. When I started this program 4 years ago, I
Mm-hmm.
remember I went to my local church that I want to have a program
Mm-hmm.
for widows. And my pastor was like, for widows? No, no. How do you think how will the program go? I don't
Mm-hmm.
think we should bring them to the church to only widows and widowers.
Oh.
It couldn't contain it at
Mm-hmm.
that point in time.
Mm-hmm.
And I moved to another place
Right.
and I was accepted. And today now, everybody is accepting about widow community. Give them a voice. Pray for them as well. You will see on my platform on our spirituality, I bring pastors, senior pastor from every part of the world to minister to us through the word of God. And you see, most of all my programs are all done in the churches because
Wow.
now they have seen
Mm-hmm.
that, before it is a kind of community that people pretend as if they are not existing.
Hmm.
They just block their head as if, let us not discuss it. Let us not talk about it. Oh, I don't want to be a widow. Oh, there's some people, there's a way they feel when they hear widow. Don't talk it. So it is like a community. Even some pastor, when they pray in the church, they don't remember to pray for widows, but not
Mm-hmm.
now. As we
Hmm.
speak out, as we talk about it boldly, you see pastors now, they pray for widows in their churches. They allow us to come and have a program in their churches. In fact, many pastors want us to come to their place to have our programs now, unlike 4 years ago. Even in society now, you see a lot of organizations coming up as well to discuss about widowhood. Some are
Mm-hmm.
also now allowing widow also to render help to them.
Hmm.
We are trying to also educate society about, there's some cultural practice in Africa that
Mm-hmm.
are against human rights, that are not compliance to United Nations way of treat of human rights. So those
Mm-hmm.
culture that violates human rights, we are trying to
Right.
also educate the society so that it
Mm-hmm.
can be stopped. We are trying to speak with the king, the elders in the city, in the villages, so that those rights can be reduced. For example, there is a village in Africa, not in
Right.
the states where I'm speaking, that when a man died, the
Hmm.
woman will be put at the back of the door. He will sit at the
Hmm.
back of the door. If 20 people enter that house that day, they will slap the woman with the door. Can you imagine that? They need that she's at the back of the door. When they want to open the door, they will open the door and slap her there. If it
When
is
you are
20,
mentioning about this culture, may I know in which village still it's persisting? Maybe it will
that
be.
is that is the River State in Nigeria. So
Oh.
it still happened there. That is some tribe there. There are some
Mm-hmm.
area also that when a man died, they will have to shave the hair of the women.
Hmm.
They will pass through some ritual activities. Now
Mm-hmm.
that we're speaking now, we're telling women now, if they ask you to go through any form of right that violates human rights, say that you cannot do it. Nothing will happen
Right.
to you.
Right.
You understand? So as we keep on discussing what we have passed through, some that have passed through it, that passed through those culture, they are
Mm-hmm.
speaking out. Now
Right.
that people are getting understanding of it now, I think is reducing gradually, but mind you, is still going
But
on.
it's still going on.
It's reducing.
So, Beatrice, when you are talking about you bought this example, like it still is persisting in, and you bought this village example, would you able to reach out to them? And if you reach out to them, how you are seeing in some same way, if you are able to help and create some kind of awareness and betterment for the women's life, how you are seeing in your future ahead of 5 years goal, how you see that?
Wow, in the next, thank God for that. Somebody called me today and we're like, when she was a widow, she remarried now. And she was like, Beatrice, do you remember so person, when we had our first prayer summit? I said, yes. He said, they have now metamorphosed to a complete woman now. They have gotten ill in their heart. They are doing life perfectly now. I said, that is it. That what we are doing is like graduating from stage to stage in widowhood, a stage where now you can take care of yourself, your mind, your emotion, your children. So now, in the next 5 years to this time, I want to be able to say we have not less than 10,000 widows that have passed through all our training, and they have reached a level whereby they can take care of themselves, their emotion, their finance, and also be of help to other younger widows.
Wow.
That is my
That's
community now. I'm
very
looking forward to see a situation whereby widows in my community, or those widows that are going through our free training for the past 4 years now, they are becoming leaders, even in every segment of life, whether in their church, whether in their place of work, or in their community as well.
right.
I'm looking forward for the next 5 years, where our school that we are planning to have for the children of bereaved. We have some children on our scholarship board that's the twins. We have some women, they are pregnant when they lost their husband. So we put them on a scholarship list. So we are planning to have a school for them in the next 5 years. In the next 5 years, I'm also seeing that our empowerment center should be functioning very well, where we can be training young widows on sewing, on how to, on training that will enable them to become self-sufficient. So,
Right.
and all our programs are improving every year. We have Thanksgiving program that is the last Saturday of January every year. By the grace of God, we are believing God for a sponsor. By January, we have program. We want to gather not less than 500 widows to praise God for preservation of life. Then we have our empowerments. Empowerments that is in March. We want to empower at least 250 widows to become self-sufficient by the grace of God. Then we have our prayer summit in May. We want to have it in 10 cities in Nigeria. We're also having international conference. I don't know whether you saw the one we did 2 weeks ago. That is for Lagos branch. And we empower 70 widows financially, and we're able to give them a Christmas gift, food for their self and for their children. So by Saturday, the next 3 days now, I'll be moving to another city where we want to empower 100 widows on, want to train them on alternative natural spices for natural spices for alternative for MSG, for healthy living, so that they can be free of hypertension and higher cholesterol in their body. So we'll be training 100 widows on that. We have a practical, we have a specialist that will come and
It
train
seems
them.
like you have well planned your 5 years journey ahead to go with your mission and purpose with your this organization, as well as empowering those all women, bringing them from those wrong practices of especially not about culture, but especially wrong practices of how to dehumanize someone. So when we see all those things, what message, because it's not about your country, it's not about your place, but it happens in many places in the world. What message would you like to give to those all women, those are having in same, they are in the same situation, or maybe having the same kind of things around them?
Okay, thank you so much. My message to all the widows that pass through this journey and are in it presently is that know that you are not alone. We are in it together. And again, for sure, that you have the power to do all things. Spiritually, you are very powerful. Fear not. Be a fearless widow. Whatsoever that comes at heart, pursue it. There is a greater strength in you to do all things, all things. Pursue your dream. Is there anything, maybe when you are at 20 or 25 years, even before you met your husband, there are some things that you have in mind to be, how you want, your real person, how you want to be by the time you are 50 or 60. And after the death of your husband, it's as if you have forgotten about those ideas. Bring them out. There are a lot of things you can do with yourself. You can write your books, you can write your stories, and live the dream of your youth. Start living it now. It's still possible. And God
Very
will help.
inspiring, very motivating. Live the dream, the which you was dreaming or you have. That's very inspiring for all our audience, and especially as you are targeting the women who are going through those situations in the journey of widow or widowhood. Beatrice, how you see Women Dialogue is able to help this voice to share at global level?
Thank you to Women Voice Dialogue. I think I really enjoy this conversation. And I believe that this program is blessing a lot of women all over the world. That you're able to reach out to me from far away Canada to Nigeria is a plus, and it's a blessing to me as well. And I believe as men that will be listening to this interview all over the world, even here in Nigeria, I believe that you will like this page and to follow up on this program. I say thank you to you.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Have a great day. Thank you.